I have revenge against you.
All I know is Braxton Berrios.
Rockman!
That's fine.
That
fine.
football victory was epic.
I've struggled the last couple of years in football, so I'm going to come back this year because I'm a little more determined. I'm a little more disciplined. I should say.
No guarantees, but
I
trust
missed the playoffs by points or a game every single year. The last
or if you
2
had
years.
applied yourself more, you would have 100% made it in both of them.
No, I'm not going to say that.
You would have.
I'm not going to say that because the more I apply myself,
sometimes it's
the further I go.
No, I trust you. If I'm joining a league, even XFL, I know the other guys like Mike, Ben, they don't respect. Like Brian, I respect Brian. I respect you, and obviously I respect me. But outside, okay, take me out of the equation. You are the two guys that I'm worried about.
Effort reason alone, right?
It's just the upside of your guys' teams are if you do everything right.
If we hit on what we were talking about,
right now, unfortunately, if on your end, if I hit, even if you hit, I'm gonna win. But if I hit 80% and you hit, I lose.
Yeah.
There's not many people I can say that about because I'm gonna try harder. I'm gonna be up at fucking 2 a.m. I'm gonna do all those things that no one else is doing. So that's
plus you and I we're very involved with our conversation. So it's.
I mean, hey, you were right at Renfrow, bro. Give you that. I laughed at your fucking face about Renfrow.
I've liked Renfrow since he was a rookie.
I know that you did. And I laughed.
I hit randomly on these
white fucking.
I hit randomly on these white guys.
Receivers?
Jokic, Renfrow. I hit on these white guys.
Is it a race thing?
No. It's. It may be a race thing, but not on my end. It's because I don't like. If I see an opportunity and a guy that can run a good route or can post up well,
right?
The race doesn't matter as long as you get involved, right?
So almost you're blind to race.
I would like to say that, but I'm not.
Well, most guys the name matters. Where it's John Smith isn't as sexy as.
Well, all right. I'll say this. Back in the day, Jordan would be like, "You're gonna like." I remember the shit talk he had to Charles Barkley when they played the Suns in the finals. Mm-hmm. Marley was a good defender. Whoever was guarding Jordan, it was Dan Marley.
Yes.
Yeah. So Dan, he's like, "You're gonna have a white boy guard me."
Right.
Which I guess would still be cool now. But if I ever said
in
you
his
have
mind,
a black,
it was disrespect.
Yeah, he's a white boy. He's lesser than me because he's white.
Let me give you an example. Alex Caruso, pretty goddamn good player, right?
One of the better defenders in the league.
Tyrese Thomas.
Really good defender, yeah.
But Tyrese Thomas is shit compared to Alex Caruso.
Okay. Well, different type of player.
No, but you get what I'm saying. Tyrese Thomas was obviously going to be drafted in the top 4 because he's athletic, he's 6'9", he's black.
Super long. Yeah.
Caruso was just this hustle white guy that's bald at 23.
Yeah, white mama. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
those are the kind of we were talking about with Moneyball, the things that the stats see right through. And we're not even going stats wise, but it's just there's other things involved, right? Than just
I'm not looking for white guys simply because they're overlooked. I mean
they are.
100%. There's 100% reverse racism, which is I don't know,
weird.
Well, it's unfortunate. It's I just don't understand how defeating racism means making racist comments or actions towards white people. Being racist doesn't fix the racism from before.
And our conversation right here is just a conversation.
Yeah. No,
can we have this in the pod? You want to have this in the pod?
Well, that's not.
Is that intro? Hey guys. Rob Ranks! Hi. We're back. We're back. We just had a weird conversation of how he always hits on these guys well, you would have hit on Caruso if you could have.
Well, no, because again, that's a white. Just because he's white, no.
No, that's kind of.
We talked. All right, so we talked about Jokic.
Yes,
looks like an obvious.
Renfrow. Guy's been about Renfrow since day one.
I think that's part of me liking the Raiders for some reason.
But how good is Renfrow, dude? We were looking at the rookies,
he was,
right?
Top 10 receiver in fantasy.
Yeah, and we were talking about the rookies, and you're like, when we see a China route from these 6 foot, 198 super athletic guys, no one's running a China route, but motherfucking Hunter Renfrow, bro.
When I see Ohio State and I see 2 guys beat everyone by 10 yards, and every single pass, every single highlight is them getting a pass 10 yards over their head because they're 10 yards in front of the guy. So that's why I said, we're in the red zone now. Let me see someone beat someone within 2 feet. You have 3 feet to beat someone. You just can't outrun someone. So
Hunter Renfrow would not have any of those clips in Ohio State because he'd just be running underneath.
Well, he could, but I can't. I don't know Renfrow's highlights.
But because he's not fast, he's just fucking crafty. He's a football player. Lovie Smith would jerk off to Hunter Renfrow's fucking film, dude. All right, Rob's ranks.
We're back.
Yes, we might have another one coming for you later. Maybe even 2. We don't know. We're feeling good. We're having fun. Thank Ryland for coming by earlier tonight.
Yeah, Ryland. It was a lot of fun.
We had a fun episode. This is going to be a fun one, too. This is going to be the weird one.
So we're thinking about... So what we're talking about doing is... We talked... I would say we juggled around a few different ideas about the NBA.
Yes.
In terms of determining our best list. Mm-hmm. Because we've done... Outside of the pod, we've done... simulations on NBA 2K where we just do our teams,
the best players, and
so we were just trying to decide what was the best way to do our best players. I think we settled on best NBA players that are not in the Hall of Fame from the 90s.
Their career had to touch the 90s, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it's within our lifetime.
A little touch of the 90s.
I think it was within our lifetime, right?
Which means we had a chance to see them play. Whether it be at 6 years old or whatever.
Maybe the tail end, maybe we heard legends, or maybe we saw just the brief highlights.
Yes.
Even in the late 90s, early 2000s, when you only had one reel of highlights, right? It was ESPN. And that just went on 4 times a day, right?
So the list is the top 5 players not in the Hall of Fame.
NBA players
not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And they had to retire somewhere before 2015. Yeah. Because if it was, they might still be eligible.
They have to be eligible for that.
Yeah. And they might, if they retired in 13, they might still be. But if they haven't made it now, they're not making it, right?
They weren't first ballot Hall of Famers,
right.
Essentially. Right?
Yes, there you go. But real quick before we get into this, I have a question. This is a kind of a current events. Pick your brain, pick my brain. It's the Will Smith thing.
All right.
It was, we did some movie stuff in here, and we're not really into big into the Oscars because as of right now, what is the Oscars?
I would say we both like Will Smith though.
We both love Will Smith. Yeah. He was an honorable mention on my hot guy list.
Oh.
So I might have to take him down that one. But the thing is, the Oscars right now are just trash because movies and media it's not like it used to be. It's all Netflix series and
I heard an interesting stat that this year the Oscars viewership was up 50% from last year.
Ooh.
However, it was still the second lowest of all time.
Right.
Because last year was the lowest of all time by a significant.
Because there's no movies being made. I mean,
that's a good point.
It's only Avengers. There's just no one's in the theater. So it's a whole different experience. When we did our top 5 movie podcast, a lot mid 90s was just cranking out bangers, dude. Right? Forrest Gump, fucking same year as Pulp Fiction, same year as Speed, same year as Shawshank Redemption. We ain't getting a movie half as good as any of those right now.
Yeah.
So what is the Oscars, right? And Will Smith did win. The crazy thing is he won his first Oscar.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
He's up there protecting women.
Yeah, and it was for I don't know. You probably hadn't seen it, but it was for King Richard.
Yeah, I didn't see the movie.
I actually did watch it, and it's Serena and Venus's dad. It's about their life growing up and how he was, which is ironic that he's a notorious douchebag, kind of not douchebag, but just kind of like Tiger Woods' dad or Michael Jackson's dad.
I have to say this,
but
apparently that shit works.
It does. When it works, right? But when it doesn't work, then you have then it's bad.
All right. So honest question, this is unscripted.
Yeah.
If you were raising a kid that had the potential to be Tiger Woods,
I would do that.
You'd push him to be
100%.
All right, you're going to be a millionaire, son. You might hate me.
Yeah.
But you have the opportunity to do whatever you want.
And it also teaches them discipline and if they're not successful in the sport, they're going to learn lessons to be a great businessman.
Exactly. If you have that determination to be the best ever.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
With people like this,
all right, Will Smith. All right, so
I'm curious what your thoughts are. Tell me.
Roasts have been a big thing for a while, right? And what do we know about these shows, these Oscars, any of the award shows?
Okay.
And Chris Rock wasn't even hosting. He was just actually like
presenting
an award. But they always have a little 3-minute monologue where they...
Well, he's a comedian. He's one of the biggest comedians of all time. Yeah.
And they go through the audience and then poke fun at people, and that's just what they fucking do. And that's part of being a celebrity is getting poked fun of.
Well, especially if you're the front row.
Yes. Like, you're right there. And a lot of times, these people aren't even writing their own jokes, right? Like,
no.
Maybe Chris Rock wrote that, but either way. So we have heard so many worse things, right? Like, this is a 1%er, right? And also, the thing about it is, not only was it an innocent joke, it was a very dated joke, and not many people know about G.I. Jane, which was Demi Moore when she played the Marine.
In the 90s.
Yeah, with the bald head.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that joke probably went over a good amount of these people's heads, right? And, again...
It wasn't that offensive, is what you're saying.
No. And, his wife is bald, and she has alopecia, is what it's called. So, it's essentially... you watch King of the Hill? The episode where Dale's wife loses her hair because of stress.
Okay.
She's like the hot weather woman.
Yeah.
And like it happens because of stress. And then eventually it gets so thin as a woman, it's like embarrassing, so you just shave it.
Sure.
Or you wear a wig.
The thing is, Jada looked fucking... She's so fine.
Black women can look pretty nice.
She's look gorgeous.
Yeah.
The fact that she showed up, like, she also put like a fucking
she could have
Instagram and Twitter. Yeah. Like, she's very open with it.
Mm-hmm.
And
it wasn't cancer. Like, here's the thing is, I draw the line here. If she was going through chemo and you make that joke,
sure,
punch him in the face. Whatever. You just don't make that joke.
Got it. Yeah.
This was not that.
I agree with you.
And I get it was a medical condition. It wasn't like a style. But get the fuck out of here. So he said the joke. It was funny. Will Smith actually laughed. Everyone else laughed. It was a good joke. If you even got it, because most people don't even know G.I. Jane.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, the look from his wife, he freaked out. I think he got in the character of a King Richard, protecting his family, and just walked up there and blasted the motherfucker in the face. Now, thank God he opened his hand. And that was, I don't know, we talked about this in tax. I don't know if it was an 80%. It wasn't a 50%er, dude. It was harder than 50% force, right?
Yeah. It
was hard. I mean,
all right, I'm comfortable talking about the velocity of because my 100% like if Will wanted to knock him out, he could have fucked him up because Chris Rock had no idea what was going on. Hands behind the back.
He thought it was like a joke.
And he's like, "Oh, here comes Richard."
Right.
That's what he said.
Right, yeah.
Oh, here comes
like
Richard.
Maybe some kind of bit. Or
like maybe give him a noogie or something, right? Like, but he just came out, whacked him, and then
took it like a champ. Made a joke about it. This is gonna be the best Oscars ever. Like,
and best moment on TV or whatever.
And Chris Rock is pretty beloved, man. He's an innocent dude. He doesn't take cheap shots. Chris. I've never heard a really bad thing about Chris Rock. Like, he doesn't, he's not really a dirty comic. Like, the point is that Will Smith had a pretty nice rep going into this, and apparently he's got some family issues. I don't know what it is, but he got lucky they didn't kick him out, and he still got to have his award, his first Oscar, which is ironic that his best moment ever was also his worst moment ever. And he ain't ever leaving this. This is like the most iconic goddamn Oscar. You got an assault happening on stage. Yeah. And wow, it's crazy. Like, when someone sent it to me, and I didn't even really look at it because I read about it, and then I saw like the clip in my group chat, the picture of the video, and I'm like, it had to be a joke. It had to be scripted.
I saw it earlier before you sent it to me. I saw it. I'm like, it's scripted. I don't care about the scripted bullshit. Like,
it was like a WWE punch, except for it wasn't.
It looked like it. It's the way Will Smith was like wound up, in the way Chris Rock was like reacting to it. It looked like it was like a.
And then they keep my fucking wife's name out your mouth. And he said it twice. Like, first of all, don't do both. Just do the first, or just do the second.
He committed.
Yeah, I'm saying, but just do the second. Don't go up there. Just say that. How about that? Or cover it. They're probably friends. Do it. I don't know, man. Like, it was just really bad, and like, we both love Will Smith.
Yeah, so to me, like, my initial thought, like, when you sent it to me, because I didn't realize it was a thing until you sent it to me, like, I can't believe this shit. And normally, like, if it's that late, you sent it to me, like, 10 or whatever, normally I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll check it later. But for some reason, I clicked on the link. I'm like, oh, shit, this is a real thing. And so we started talking about it. To me, Will, like, I genuinely think there's, not to get, this is the long way I say about it, because I want to move on from it.
Yeah.
Like, I generally think there's some insecurities there with their swinging.
Like, their relationship, because there was some infidelity issues. And,
because it's crazy that he's worried about guys saying his wife's name, but, like, he's willing to have guys inside her mouth. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I'm not saying that's wrong. Like, that's fine. Whatever you want. That's great. But like, I mean, like, I guess maybe it wasn't like I have no idea what it just seemed like a weak thing. And I just
super weak, man.
In general, I don't like that society deems that like acceptable. Like, it's just a thing that happens now. Like the fact that like you get offended from like, a joke that's not even directed at you, and you can walk up and slap someone and go sit back at your seat, and just nothing happens.
It's a bigger picture thing, right? It's like it's we're so soft now, and this actually ties into the Stafford thing. Like, now, unfortunately for Will Smith, I'm telling you, this is going to define him. Right? The first time you look at Will Smith,
it's going to define Chris Rock too.
Right, and like the same with Matt Stafford thing, like that girl falling off, like people are killing Matt Stafford for that. When he's done nothing wrong, and Will Smith, again, this is the worst thing Will Smith's done. He's lived a really good life. Unfortunately, it's on fucking goddamn the Oscars. Like, it's the biggest award show.
Here's a question: do you think Jada was appreciative of what he did? Do you think girls
probably yes?
You think so?
Yes. Because Will Smith's a big enough star where like it don't matter to him.
That was a moment of weakness.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's not. That's not a moment of strength.
It sucks.
I don't like. I'm sure she was offended, Jada.
Yeah.
But to that point, like,
you know what a moment of strength is? After the fucking ceremony, or if you want to yell your keep her out of her mouth there, man to man, you tell him.
Yeah.
After cameras.
I'll tell you what being strong is, especially for a man, is knowing that you can fuck someone up and not doing it.
Right.
It is knowing that you know better.
Because clearly Will Smith could fuck up Chris Rock.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's not the point. If it was The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, Jesus.
No, he's not going up and doing that.
Now that would have played well because he would have done the whole slap. He knows how to fake hit somebody.
Yeah, all of a sudden The Rock.
Yeah, right. Like, unfortunately, Will Smith has no experience fake hitting somebody.
My point is he knew that it was a moment of weakness, 100% on Will Smith's end. I respected Will Smith a lot. I thought he was a good guy, and he was understanding of a lot of things, but
I still do respect him, by the way. I'm not trying to say this.
I would still shake his hand. I would still
just
like seeing him, but
knock down a peg, right? Like, come on, man.
My point is that there's something off.
Yeah,
right.
There's
something.
Like,
there's something underlying that fueled that.
He's got some issues going on outside of Chris Rock making a fucking.
I think him and his wife.
Dude.
I think him and his wife.
Right.
Because they're constantly trying to do.
And I just feel sorry for Chris Rock in the whole situation because, like he said, the funny thing is he said this is a G.I. Jane joke. It wasn't a personal joke. It was a joke about G.I. Jane.
All right. So last thing I'll say about it is there was a moment where Chris Rock's like, "Ooh, I could say," like he was about to say something like,
"Right,
I know, I know exactly what you're saying. I know what you say about her, or I know what you do in your free time." Like it's like, "Ooh, I could." He's like, "I could." He's like, and he looked
the high road, dude.
Yeah, he looked to the side, like, "All right, I'm just gonna move on."
Yeah.
Like, this is
so if anything, this is a good
I'm just
thing.
presenting an award. Like I'm not even hosting it.
This is a good thing for Chris Rock, right? Like
I think
goes
so.
down and like because he didn't hit him back. He actually reacted like that's why people thought it was fake, because he reacted as if it was like planned.
He kept his hands behind his back the whole time.
Just like said like, "Oh, this is the best Oscars ever." Like laughed, even though like you just got fucking knocked the fuck out. I feel for him because
I'm sure he feels like a bitch.
Yeah, but there's nothing you can do. I mean, fight fucking Will Smith, dude. Like, good luck. I mean,
that would be that.
Saying Will Smith's 6'2", 200.
Not gonna happen. No, not gonna. Yeah, I don't think Chris Rock pretends he's a fighter.
No. All right, we have to move on from this. But it was a great combo. I mean, we had to talk about it because I know a lot of people are talking about it, and I don't know if you guys want to hear our 2 cents on it, but that's our 2 cents on it. It's been talked about, and it's,
I just
we both grew up with Will Smith on many fronts, right?
I wish he'd handle it differently.
100%, man. If there was like a degrees of how to handle it,
I can.
He did almost the worst thing you could do.
Right? I can empathize. Maybe if you really offend, like you said, if she had
cancer,
right? Like then
that's probably a proper.
Then go up and don't even close your go ahead and punch him. But that
was not that.
And he was reacting based on what he thought he should do, and he was totally wrong.
He got caught up in the moment. All right, basketball.
Who? So what are we doing?
Top 5 players that played and touched in the 90s that are not in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So the players that are not going to make it, most likely, that should be or are worthy.
I have one guy that I have to.
An honorable?
Well, no, it's one guy that is still current. But I don't think he's going to make it.
This kind of goes along with, if you've watched the show, we did the Big Ben line, which he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but it was one of those things where it's like, below or above the Big Ben line. And we've had this conversation about Ben Wallace. Now, he just made the Hall of Fame. Now, Ben Wallace was a solid-ass, many millions, solid-ass player. But, let's say but, Ben Wallace, I feel like some of these guys we're going to talk about have had better careers than Ben Wallace. Do you agree or disagree? He did win that championship, but he sucked with the Bulls.
Yeah, he's like a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
I don't know if it was 4 times, but
he was the epitome of a defensive player in the early 2000s when the defensive era was coming to an end.
Right. You want to know what Ben Wallace's stats are for his career?
No, it doesn't matter. He's already in the
Hall of
Fame.
Fame. What I'm saying. He averaged 5.7 points, 9.6 rebounds, 1.3 assists. He did average 2 blocks a game and 1.3 steals. He only made 4 All-Star teams.
Because he was irrelevant for 4 years.
He's
and
Dennis
relevant
Rodman.
for 4 years.
He's a poor man's Dennis Rodman, right?
He had a 6-year peak.
Would you say poor man's Dennis Rodman?
Yeah, he had a 6-year peek where Rodman was good for his entire career.
All right, so that means that some of these guys that have a 6-year peak should be in the Hall of Fame then.
Rodman's yeah.
And the thing is, Ben Wallace had the hair, like, whatever. So I'm saying Ben Wallace did make the Hall of Fame, and I'm telling you right now, I could beat Ben Wallace in a 3-point shooting contest.
This conversations
I could.
a lot.
So just that also hurts his case for Hall of Fame because I'm a better shooter than him. But regardless, this is our list. And I know you have an honorable mention. I have one.
I don't have an honorable mention.
I have one. It's Robert Horry.
Oh.
Okay. Now, I really wanted to make him in my list because Robert Horry's a 7-time champion.
Yeah.
And not even just the fact that
big shots, big moments.
Big shot.
Big shot Bob. Big shot Bob.
And the best thing about him is that it wasn't just like he won 7 with one team.
No, it was
3 teams. Houston, Spurs, Lakers. So, like, where he went, they won. And, yeah, he was the ultimate role guy. And now I'm going to give you Robert Horry's stats, which are not glamorous, by the way. He played 17 seasons. His career stats are 7 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, and a steal a game.
So I'll ask you, what was his job in those championship teams? Was it to score 20 points? Or was it to hit big shots and make good rebounds and be a big body?
I would say 2 words.
Okay.
Calming presence.
Okay.
Right? Veteran.
I don't like. You think of him as a leader?
No. I think he's like the ultimate glue guy.
Okay.
And the problem is those guys aren't
7 championships. Ultimate glue guy.
That's worthy of Hall of Fame for me.
Okay.
That's why he's not a mention. I'm saying I have guys above this because of their accolades.
Guy.
You know, he's what was he 6'10", 6'11"?
Yeah, it's a spoiler because I'll dive into mine after you.
Okay. Just Robert Horry, man. Like he's 7 championships doesn't get you there. I don't care what your stats are, unless you're not playing. 7 with 3 different teams, and like the shot with the Lakers, had one with the Spurs, like many big moments, and great defender, loved by his teammates. Like for me, that's the
reliable. Like when you have Kobe and Shaq, you want a reliable shooter.
Yeah.
Like you want someone that you can
Same
count
with the Spurs, and then in the Rockets, it was 94, 95. He was back then, bro. Like,
yep.
And he had a couple
of years. He played
with
Keem. He played with Duncan. He played with Robinson. He played with Shaq. He played with Kobe.
Bro, just selfless.
There's a reason those guys wanted him on their team.
Yeah, you have him on your list.
He was all right. So he was. It's not 1 through 5, but he was the first person that came to my mind. Was Robert Horry.
Same.
Big shot.
And then I had to move him down because I had these other guys, and I was
I think there's other guys more talented than him.
Yeah.
But you don't need 5 super talented guys to win a championship. You need 2, and you need Robert Horry.
Right.
Apparently, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Two Hall of Famers and Robert Horry, who's not a Hall of Famer. So Robert Horry, he's one of my. I put him as my 3.
Okay.
So I really want. We're talking about doing a sim on 2K. After this, he's going to be my 3 on there.
Okay.
I don't have much more. I mean, you kind of highlighted everything. Big Shot Bob.
Yep.
3 different teams, 7 different championships.
Obviously, he was super agreeable. Like everyone loved him. Like there was never an issue.
He also won champion. Like he wasn't. I feel like he won a couple championships. I mean, he was. Big Shot Bob, like
the Lakers shot for 1 just comes to mind. Like that was just so like.
All right, so what's super important about being Big Shot Bob is he was Big Shot Bob with a guy that averaged 9 points in an era of iso ball where it was Jordan gets every single last shot,
right?
Kobe gets every single last shot. Hakeem gets every. But this guy won championships because he took the last shot.
Like he was like a better version of Derek Fisher, because Derek Fisher is also one of those guys. Right?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
but Derek Fisher, like the thing is, Derek Fisher won 7 championships.
But Fisher's a Hall of Famer to me, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he should be.
He
was
Fisher,
essential. Like that's
notorious. Dude,
all right, that's my.
Honorable mention.
Yeah.
See, look at that.
Nice
See, teamwork, baby.
Yeah.
Rob Square is what we do up in here. All right, so that's your number 3. So I'm gonna go with my number 5 right here. Chris Webber.
Yeah.
And the thing about Chris Webber is, like, one thing you know about the Basketball Hall of Fame is it encompasses more than just the NBA. It's college and international.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately, Chris Webber's biggest moment is the flop of calling a timeout when he didn't have one.
He also was part of a big thing.
The biggest thing.
The reason that
influential.
The reason that was a big deal was because of him.
Yes.
He was the number one high school player in the team.
And on a team of all super
number one college guy.
So, but like that moment alone, I know it's a bad moment, but it's a very important moment in terms of basketball history and also a teaching lesson for some of these people and players to like know your timeouts, right?
Yeah.
And it sucks that it happened. And that Michigan team though was like rap video, like that's so iconic.
Yeah, Jalen Rose is one of my favorite players ever.
Jalen Rose, dude, like
I love Jalen Rose on the Bulls.
So, do you know how many seasons he fucking played?
Weber, I'm gonna guess he played from. Don't quote me on the year. I'm gonna guess he played from '97 to 2011.
They're from '93 to 2008.
Okay, I was 3 years off each way. Man.
So he played 11, 14, 17 seasons in the NBA. And also an amazing broadcaster. I love Chris Webber on the fucking call, right? You don't like him? He's energetic.
No, the reason I would even question his Hall of Fame eligibility is because of his arrogance. Like, I think it's simply on him, the fact that he's not in the Hall of Fame right now.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so
timeout.
So I think the reason he's Hall of Fame worthy is because of his talent, but I think the reason he didn't make it is because of his confidence.
Two questions for you. Reggie Miller or Chris Webber calling a game? Who do you like?
Oh, Reggie Miller.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, Chris Webber. Yeah, I'll take Chris Webber. All right, and
Webber's just too fake to me. He hasn't found himself yet.
Okay, so obviously there's 2 what ifs for him, like major what ifs, right? If the Fab Five, I can't talk. I'm doing the IPA challenge, so like bear with me. If the Fab Five won that national championship, might change something. And also the Sacramento team that was just unbelievable. With Mike Bibby, with Peja Stojakovic.
Well, he got drafted at Golden State.
Yes, first year. There you go. Genius. 1 year.
There you go. They were trash, so he demanded a trade.
Yeah, and then Washington.
Again, his ego.
And then
he
Washington.
Got too much into his own, like young players, Zion.
Yeah, right. He was like a modern day Zion, actually, minus the fat. But so if let's say the Fab Five won that changes things because again, like Carmelo is like voted as a top, whatever they did top 80 players. Syracuse. I think part of the Carmelo thing was that he was the true freshman that led Syracuse to a national championship. Mm-hmm. That helped, right? Because he hasn't won shit in the NBA.
He was a scorer.
Yeah, and his numbers are great.
Raw.
I'm just saying, like, that championship helps, like, his pedigree because he hasn't won shit in the NBA. So if Chris Webber had won that, okay, one thing. And then the Sacramento, the Mike Donaghy, or was it Mike? Yeah, the Donaghy thing with the game that Shaq had like 24 free throws. Like, dude, they should have beat the Lakers that series. The NBA did not want them. They should have won that championship. That's
why I first started gambling. I started gambling on.
If they won that championship, Chris Webber was the best player on that team. Correct?
I think so.
Maybe Stojakovic, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Either of those 2 things happen.
It makes it the final. I agree.
No timeout. So I'm saying, like, regardless, he should be. You want to tell me his numbers? 20.7 points a game, 10 rebounds, 4 assists.
He averaged 20 for his career.
20.7 for his career in 17 years, dude.
What were his rebounds?
9.8. I know, in 17 years. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
How many bad years did he have?
Dude, towards the end, he wasn't
playing a lot. That's why.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, he still averaged 4.2 assists.
No,
here's the crazy thing. Here, hold on. His steals and blocks for his career. What do you think they're at? 17 years, right? He's a big guy.
Steals 1.2, blocks 1.8.
Okay, next, but 1.4, 1.4. That's pretty good, dude.
No,
like he wasn't.
I was on the high end of that.
But he wasn't known as a defensive player, bro.
No, he's one of the best players of all time.
That's fucking Ben Wallace. Like
he's one of the more talented players of all time.
Saying how much better is Chris Wallace than Chris Webber than Ben Wallace. He's
talented wise, Miles, but like
yes,
mentally wise, Ben Wallace. Like right, like that's.
But if he won that championship, the
Chris
same
Wallace
as Ben Wallace,
his own worst enemy, man. Like
Chris Webber. We keep on calling him Chris Wallace. We want to call him, yeah, right. It's funny. Like,
Chris Webber. Like,
can we just combine those two players? I mean, they're the best player of all time, right? Can Ben Wallace?
So that's my number. That's my number 5 as well.
Okay.
Webber. Yeah, he's my 5. There's not much more to say about it. I think you hit on all the nails.
He underachieved. Would you still say he underachieved for his career?
100%. Like growing up, like he was equal to Shaq to me. Like but not the same player. Like
a little more versatile. But
he was equal. Like he was better than Tim Duncan at the time. But during those finals, he was better than Tim Duncan.
More talented than Tim Duncan.
Bibby was a big deal. Stojakovic was a big deal. All stars.
I guess the word we need to use is talented, right?
Well, yeah,
not
he
better
had potential.
Because,
he had the potential.
I'm saying though is like we're just calling him a disappointment, right? And we look at his numbers, and he had the tail off years.
He's a Hall of Famer to me.
21-10.
He's a Hall of Famer,
bro.
He's a Hall of Famer to me.
Yeah, how is he not? And he retired in 2007, so he's not making it.
No,
like if he hasn't made it now, he's not making it.
He fucked the wrong dude's wife.
Right, and like many of them.
That's what he made bad decisions.
Without a condom, and he had an STD. So
he's his own worst enemy.
That's
what I'm
not
saying.
good.
He's his own worst enemy.
Right, and okay, but I do like Chris Webber calling games personally because
I don't mind it. I just he's just too fake to me. He hasn't found himself yet.
Okay,
he's still trying to create an image. Like he reminds me of Kenny Smith. Like Kenny Smith is so self-conscious about like how Shaq
compared to the rest of the guys.
Shaq and Charles, like
even though he has the rings,
he has the same amount of rings as Shaq, right, or whatever.
Right.
But like he has more rings than Charles. But that's all he can say because Charles and Shaq were all timers, and he was just he was riding an all timer, right?
All right, you ready for number 4?
Go ahead.
Rasheed Wallace.
I like that.
Now he's also similar to the Chris Webber in terms of like he's his own worst enemy. He played with the Jailblazers. That hurt his image, and then also Pistons. Like he's part of the fucking Malice of the Palace, like which I love, by the way. I'm a big Malice in the Palace fan. I don't know if that makes me a bad person, but
no, I don't mind. Like,
I could watch Malice in the Palace highlights every day.
What do you like about it? Let me ask you that.
Well, I like the fact that the fans they feel they're entitled and they want to fuck with the NBA players. Like these guys are doing their job, and maybe don't fuck with a guy that's 6'9", 240.
Yeah, I like the fact that the players stood up for themselves.
Yes. It's just entertaining, and like I get they cross the line, but fans cross the line all the fucking time and throw out racial slurs and throw water bottles and beers at people, dude. Like, dude, guess what? If you're an accountant and some fucking 6'4" black dude comes at you and pours a fucking beer on you when you're accounting, what are you gonna do? You'd be like, dude, you're gonna call the cops. Like, no, that would never happen. Is the point?
Sure.
Like, just because they're professional athletes, dude, that's their career, that's their job. They're just fucking working. Yep. So, like, just because you bought a ticket does not mean you have the right to be a fucking moron. Yep. You would never do that in real life. You would never do that in a bar, right? Like, so imagine like seeing Rasheed Wallace in a bar, Ron Artest, and then calling him the N-word or something like that. Dude, like, Ron Artest, I would be so far away from that guy. Like,
yeah, if I knew it was Ron Artest, regardless of his size, he could be 5'3",
because he's Ron Artest. Like,
yeah, I'm not going to fuck with that dude.
So that's what I love about it, and like it got out of hand. But guess what? Fuck the fans. Like, and I'm a fan, but guess what? And I've done some shit in the crowd in baseball games, like made some chants, but never like to that degree. And I would never like. They're human beings, man. They're working and disrespectful, man. And like, guess what? You got what coming to you. And if you want to go on the fucking court, fight Jermaine O'Neal. He's 7'2". 260, like, good luck, man. So anyway, Rasheed Wallace, man, he's kind of blackballed because of the Jailblazers.
Well, he was notorious for his texts, getting suspended every year. They were counting his texts every year.
But the thing is that Rasheed Wallace was so far ahead of his time. He was the original stretch four, right? He was the original pick and pop big guy, like Porzingis people talk about.
Well, Dirk was still a thing then. They were drafted about the same time.
Okay,
but
you're talking about one of the best players.
I agree with you. Like, he was revolutionary in that aspect.
Yeah. And he's hitting threes. He's rebounding. He's playing defense. Like, he plays hard nosed fucking basketball. His numbers aren't as great as Chris Webber's. 14, 7, and 2. but a block and a steal a game, 1.3 blocks, and that's he really struggled towards the end though. But he has some nice years of 19 and 8, a lot of years of 18 and 9.
That's a nice one, yeah.
And the thing is, he was almost always a role player. Chris Webber was always the best player in some of these teams. Wallace was more of a, on
the Blazers, he was like a number one.
Yeah, one or two. But then,
he fell into line or not fell in lines.
He only made 4 All-Star teams, believe it or not, same as Ben Wallace.
Okay.
So again, I feel like he is similar to Ben Wallace. Like Ben Wallace in the Hall of Fame, so why the fuck not Rasheed? Same last name.
I think Ben Wallace is better than Rasheed though. More impact.
Yeah, a little bit more. I don't know. Different players, obviously. But,
again, so he's his own worst enemy, like you were saying with Chris Webber.
Yeah.
He's the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Ben Wallace got of his own way. He said, "I'm good at rebounding. I don't need to score more than 2 points.
Yeah.
Like, just give me the rebounds and give me the money." Rasheed Wallace was like, "Give me the respect."
But Rasheed eventually did learn his role, right? He did. It took him
after no one was signing him. Yeah.
Right. No, but in Detroit, he was on that championship team, bro.
He was still getting tax left and fucking.
Oh yeah, I know. But I'm saying he did learn his role. It just took him about 11 years.
So, I'm a fan.
I'm saying there's worse players in the Hall of Fame.
He was good. He was one of the more versatile bigs in the early 2000s. I remember he was
the original. Like he's 6'11", man. Guy's hitting threes.
Antoine Jameson.
Yeah. That was actually a debate on my list. I'm not really, but yeah, Antoine Jameson has crazy numbers, bro.
Yeah, for a very short.
Yeah, only a scorer though. Like this guy is a better player than Antoine Jameson.
I agree.
All right, who do you guys number 4?
Number 4, Amari Stoudemire.
Ooh.
Talking about another big play, big.
On my list as well, so we're doubling down on this, baby. Okay. Yeah, he is actually my... Shit. Didn't have him on there.
No.
I had him on there, and I apparently I forgot him. So,
okay.
All right.
So, Amari, I mean, just that pick and roll with him and Nash.
Revolutionary, man.
Yeah, on the Suns was something different. I mean, to me, for 5 years, he was a 30 and 10 guy, 30 and 12 guy. MVP candidate for a few years, got those knee injuries and just fell off, and ended up going
got the contract with the Knicks and then fell off. Like he had one good year with the Knicks, right?
So after that, he went to Europe and signed with the team, was the MVP of the league, and won a championship. Which I know it's not the NBA, but like.
Well, it's supposed to be all encompassing though, is what they say. Like Ginobili and Parker are going to make it.
Sure. So. With Stoudemire, I mean,
Israel. Israel. 34.
Yep, and now he's a coach for the Nets, I believe.
So Amari was 19, 8, and 2. Defensive numbers not great. 0.8 and 1, but I'm saying that's counting his last 4 years, which were all under 40 points a game. Yeah. So his points per game, his rookie year 13, then 20, 26, 8 he got hurt. 20, 25, 21, 23, 25, 17.
Yeah. All right. So
that's dope.
Mid-20. It's especially back then because that you're still like that pick and roll was revolutionary because you're still talking about Rasheed Wallace. You're still talking about Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
Like Ben Wallace would not be a thing in today's NBA.
The comp I would have for him was similar to Blake Griffin, right?
Okay.
And Blake probably won't be a Hall of Famer. Right? Like, no way. Like, if they had won a championship,
he will be.
You think so? Because he's still playing? If they win a championship with the Nets,
multiple dunk contests. I mean, he was a top pick. He was iconic.
Who do you think's better, Amari or Blake?
Amari.
Same.
Offensively.
Same.
Yeah.
Amari was a little stronger. Like, Blake was bigger. Like, Amari, there's something about him driving to the lane, finishing, was just
it may have been Steve Nash.
But
Blake CP.
Yeah, dude. So you can't. No, that's a walk.
No. It's Amari.
Even though Blake's a stouter human, better hops,
different generations.
Yeah.
Amari was the reason he got hurt is because he's banging with Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
Blake was jumping over Shaq's car.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, and I can't believe I thought I had him on here because he was one of the guys I looked at.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought him up because he should be on my list, but I do have other guys, though, and we will get to them right now. So I had Rasheed. So number 3, Shawn Kemp.
Okay.
Right along the lines of Shawn Kemp and Amari Stoudemire, same player, right? Blake Griffin, just
so
studs.
I'll say this, and I'll let you dive into Shawn Kemp.
Yeah.
With Shawn Kemp, to me, all I see is his dunk highlights. So I don't remember watching him live ever. I've never seen a game where Shawn Kemp played. I just remember his highlights. So that's the reason why I couldn't put him on there.
Now, Shawn Kemp had a super short career. He had a lot of personal issues. I know he has like 10 kids. Like he just, I'm not saying he was smoking crack, but like there's a lot of things that derailed his career. And the same way you're talking about Blake, CP3, right? We're talking about
Gary.
Yeah, he had Gary Payton. So like we're talking about fucking having Steve Nash. Like Gary Payton was as good, if not better, than any of the guys.
What did they call the
glove?
No, not Gary. The Rain Men. Like, didn't they call like because they were in Seattle, right? So they called like
that'd be a nice name.
It was Gary, Sean Kemp, and someone else, and there was another.
Deadwood Shrimp, and they had,
but they call him like the Rain Man or something like that. Like
they had Perkins. They had Sam Perkins.
I forget what the name was, but there was like, like Lob City,
right,
stuff like that.
So he was 15 points, 9 rebounds for his career. He only averaged 20 points a game once in his career, but he was consistent, like 18 and 10. He averaged 10 rebounds 7 straight years. I mean, the highlights are just unreal.
Yeah,
Sean
shit
Kemp
on people
is
so
crazy, bro. Like the thing is, Sean Kemp was a 6-time All-Star. So again, like the Ben Wallace thing, like I promise you, Sean Kemp was a better player than Ben Wallace. Like more dominating for that stretch. Now he was they're exact opposite. He was offensive, Ben Wallace defensive. Sean Kemp averaged, 1.2 blocks, 1.1 steals, so he wasn't a fucking scrub on defense. I don't know. Short-lived career, right? But those Seattle years, man, he averaged 16 and 10.
Yeah.
And I don't know. For me, the eye test is one of those eye test things where, like, the numbers are what they are, but, like, I'm trying to think that Dominique Wilkins would be my comparison to Sean Kemp. Like, Dominique's a better player, but, like, Dominique was better, has a higher standing because his awesome dunks, right? Like Dominique.
I'll tell you, you want to know my comp for Sean?
Yeah.
Tyrese Thomas.
Oh, but Tyrese Thomas sucked.
Same athleticism, just less opportunity.
That's really disrespectful to Sean Kemp, though.
Probably.
I mean, come on. Like,
probably, yeah,
Tyrese Thomas probably averaged 8 points a game for his career, not even. Like,
that's just the way. Like, I feel like Sean Kemp was a modern.
Do you think Sean Kemp deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? If Ben Wallace is in, then I could beat the 3-point competition.
What was Sean Kemp done?
When was he done?
No, when? What has he done? Like,
well, they went to the finals and almost beat the Bulls.
Yeah.
Saying, they were dope as fuck for 4 years.
Okay,
man.
I saw Ben Wallace D up Shaq.
All right,
and beat him in the finals. Like, so.
All right, yeah. Again, this is why they're on the list.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Ben Wallace to me is a different level. Like, Ben Wallace is
right. I obviously,
he's elite in what he did. Sean Kemp is an elite athlete.
I guess for me, like Sean Kemp is almost like a what if for me.
There's
like he should have been better, but obviously I should have had Chris Webber ahead of Sean Kemp. So like the numbers aren't the order. I just kind of have 5.
No,
like, our orders aren't.
It's definitely getting my wheels.
The peak
turning.
of Sean Kemp though was unbelievable, bro.
I'm going to be biased because I don't remember Sean Kemp.
Watch some Sean Kemp highlights and you can jerk off in the corner.
No, I've seen it. Like
he robs ropes will actually succeed because you'll do an 8-foot cum shot.
Yeah. No, he's a phenomenal dunker. I love it.
What's 8 feet here?
Not that.
This isn't 8 feet? No, shit, I can never do 8 feet then.
No.
All right.
Never.
What do you got?
So I got Ori. All right, so I'm going to do my number 1 here because I got one that I'm saving for you. Chauncey Bills is my point guard.
He's my number 1, so we'll piggyback that.
Okay.
We both have Chauncey.
Yeah,
I'll do Chauncey my 2. You do Chauncey your 2. I have another better one.
I still have another.
Okay, so there you go. Chauncey Bills. We'll both have Chauncey.
Yeah, so Chauncey with me.
Floor general, baby.
Yeah, I mean he's the epitome of a leader. Seems like he's been discredited his entire career, but he's only won and only put up good stats and only done good things for the team.
Mm-hmm.
I would say he's discredited like someone like Jason Kidd. But
how is he not a Hall of Famer?
Not yet. I mean, he retired in 2014.
You're right. Look at you. That's still fucking 8 years. He's not going to make it.
He will eventually.
Ron Santo situation. They're going to.
That's why I almost didn't put him. Is because I think he's going to make it eventually. He should
have made it already though. Like it's my thing.
I mean, now was he a coach or a GM?
Yeah, he's something. I'm just saying, like
my point. He's good. He's really really good.
Because Grant Hill's in.
Yeah, Grant Hill was an icon. Like he was like.
I don't know how much better his career was than Chauncey Bills. So
I think it's worse.
Yeah, because Chauncey Bills like
succeeded.
Multiple
he won.
Teams and like
he won.
Leader and
he won.
Yeah, yeah.
And Chauncey Bills was desired till the end of his career. He got traded for Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
And in AI's prime. Just so that's not like it wasn't. This wasn't washed up AI. This is AI in his prime.
You know, Chauncey Bills played 19 seasons.
He was a fucking stud.
19.
He's a stud,
You realize he was the number 1 pick too.
Third overall.
I think he was number 1.
Third.
Was it third?
I don't know how I know much about this. So much about Chauncey. First round, third pick.
Okay. Either way, he was.
Who's right?
Let's see.
Third pick.
Yeah, nice. You're right. Look
I
at
don't
you, buddy.
know,
You
Chauncey.
Chauncey.
I need to collect Chauncey's cards.
Either way, he was considered a bust early on, right?
Yeah,
Like for like 6 years, man.
And then Detroit.
5-time All-Star, 2004 champion, 3-time All-NBA, which is huge. Like All-NBA is not like third-team NBA. That's All-NBA, best point guard, dude.
He got traded for AI.
And
2
he won
years
the
after
Finals
AI.
MVP the year they won.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
2 times All-Defensive Player too. So yeah, he was drafted to. Where the fuck was he drafted?
He was drafted to
Denver.
That's why he went back. Yeah.
And then, then Boston. It might have been Boston. I think it was Boston. Yeah, sorry, it was Boston, then Toronto.
Okay.
So Boston drafted him, and then he went to Toronto, then he went to Denver, then he went to Minnesota.
Kyle Lowry.
So, like, fucking 4 teams his first 5 or 6 years, and then Detroit for 7 years.
Good for him,
And
man.
that's when, like, so his points per
That's
game,
when
11, 13, 8, 9, 12. Then it was straight 16 to 17 for 7 straight years with, 9 dimes. Was it? Not 9. Actually, it was only like 6 dimes. But it was one of those 17, 6, and 5 guys.
I think he's the most irreplaceable guy on those Detroit teams.
Yeah, he was the engine. He was like...
There's a reason he got traded for AI. 2 years after AI won MVP. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, can you at least agree there's no fucking way that Ben Wallace should be in the Hall of Fame before Chauncey Billups, though? Like, I can't beat Chauncey Billups in a 3-point competition, I'll tell you that.
All right. Here's what I'll say is all right.
Like,
thank you for admitting that. But Ben Wallace was better at what he did versus like against his contemporaries versus Chauncey Billups against Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, AI. Like there's a big hill for Chauncey to go overcome.
Okay.
Where there was Shaq and Yao.
right. Yao was actually thinking about having Yao on my list.
That's a good one.
Because
but
of the international
here's my
thing,
point.
sorry.
It is like name Hall of Fame centers from that era versus point guards.
Right.
So.
That was when I want to give it a little shout out to Yao, just based on like that was the hardest matchup for Shaq. His mid range game was just retarded for a 7'6" guy, and his international ball, he came in.
That would be the X factor in our sim,
right? Oh
yeah.
Yao would just destroy it. I mean,
we should both get Yao as our 6th man.
it just sucked that Yao
playing 40 minutes.
The foot injuries, like all the big big men do. But Yao would be, because the thing is, it is encompassing, international play. Excuse me, sorry.
Wow.
All right, Penny Hardaway.
That's your number 1?
Well, Chauncey was my number 1, but Penny's my number 1 now.
Sure.
Besides the fact that the commercials were just fucking amazing, right? And this is a kind of thing is, it's kind of a Grant Hill situation with Penny Hardaway because
Injuries, yeah.
the injuries.
What if?
And
Total what if.
Shaq might have never left. Like they should have won.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
And Penny Hardaway, man, was. And now he's kind of apparently doing some dumbass shit in college, like fighting coaches, and he's coaching Memphis and like doing dumb shit, which sucks because like, dude, Penny Hardaway
that's not about
right. I'm just saying like, I don't think he's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
No, he's uncomfortable with where himself.
And he's hurting himself right now. So his last year was 2008. So he hasn't. It's been
2008.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And technically, he didn't play in 2007. So his last year was like 2005.
That's what I'm gonna say. But even then, dude.
Yeah, he averaged 3.8. So he hadn't averaged. He didn't average. The last time he averaged double-digit points was 2002.
I was gonna say I thought he had like a 6-year career.
It was he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-year career, right? So
when did he get drafted?
93, first year.
And he played till 2005. How's that 7 years?
He played in 2008.
So that's 15 years.
Yeah, but I don't count any of that because it was like he didn't play. Like his points per game was like 8.7 and playing like 20 games.
Well, he had a 15 year. Like his pension says 15.
So
years.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at Orlando. His Orlando numbers.
Sure.
His Orlando numbers were.
You're gonna have to convince me on this one.
All right, 19 points a game, 6.3 assists and 5 rebounds.
Good.
So 5.
That's good. Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to blink at that.
This is more of just an eye test, kind of like in a what if. Like, I know this is probably not. I think I have him higher. I don't think I looked too much into this.
Sure.
But also,
His reputation.
he was
there.
Great, dude. And like
Grant Hill's reputation is better than his stats.
And the thing is like those numbers. You got to also think that he was playing with Shaq, who was taking a lot of the. Shaq scoring 28 a game. So like,
yeah, well, Kobe. I mean,
right. So like, Kobe never won MVPs because he was playing with Shaq. So like. If Hardaway was not playing with Shaq, he would have been averaging 28. It would have been Vince Carter or Tracy McGrady.
Penny or Vince?
Oh, Vince.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Penny. This is all like all the numbers where Penny was like he went 4 straight All-Star.
Well, you said
games.
this is an eye test thing, right? Like you saw him play.
Great,
right?
dude. And he was the original kind of like 6'7", 200, dude. He was like original Tracy McGrady.
It'd be difficult to explain to people how good Brandon Roy was.
Right? Yeah, and Brandon Roy was also
That's
one I
what
thought
I'm saying.
about because
you know what I'm saying?
4
Like,
straight years.
It's impossible to describe to someone because of his stats, because of the injuries, right?
So. And like what he could have become, and what I feel like. Penny Hardaway was a more offensive version of Scottie Pippen. If that makes any sense, like a better scorer.
Oh my God.
No, I know it's high praise, right? Like,
yeah.
Not quite the defensive player, but like. They had the same exact body, dude. 6'7", 200, right? Long arms.
Yeah.
Just hear me out. Like
I'm hearing.
the same, a better scorer. Maybe not the defense, but that comes later. So like that path.
All right. Let me ask you this: you swap Penny and Pippen.
Wouldn't work because Penny needed to score. That's why Pippen's one of the best players of all time.
So you think
Pippen,
how many championships with Shaq and Pippen would have won?
If they stayed in Orlando?
Yeah, same timeline.
Oh, so many, dude.
3?
Well, because then you take away Pippen from MJ? Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. We both.
All right, so
Shaq,
how much better is Pippen than Hardaway? Like, because we're saying that if Pippen went to Orlando,
I feel like Hardaway was much more eligible to be a number 1 if he needed to be at that point.
he was drafted to be.
Saying he's a better first option, where Scottie was the ultimate number 2. Scottie could average 27, 7, 7.
So you told me he's number 2,
LeBron.
and then he's
I'm
number.
saying he
then he's
would
number
never
8
win.
because he's sitting on the bench. Because if you
It's
tell him he's not taking the shot, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he says. I just feel like Penny had a little more versatile offensive game.
For sure.
And that's saying a lot because Scottie Pippen's fucking one of the best, in my mind, top 20 players of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't debate that.
I'll have to count my 20, but yeah.
All right. If anything, I want to put. Can I just redo my list and put Penny 5? But
No.
That's one thing. Is our list. This is
it's an eye test because it's going to be difficult for you to verbalize by stats to say this is why you should be number.
No, and this is all time. Like these numbers aren't.
Well, so this one too.
Yeah. Who you got?
It's John Wall.
Ooh.
I don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh,
but
of course not.
But talent wise, like
oh yeah,
just athleticism wise, just hype coming
his
in.
bankroll.
Well, he makes a shitload. Like John Wall was something special.
Mm-hmm.
He was something unique.
Oh, he was a bigger, stronger version of Derrick Rose.
Yeah,
or Russell Westbrook, right? And that.
So what pushed me over the edge was I think you came over one day and I was watching what's his name from the Warriors, Draymond Green, his podcast. He was talking to Bradley Beal, and so he's like, "All right, so you played with
Russ,
you played with John Wall,
right.
and he's like, yeah, Russ is nice, but John Wall, like I've
heard the end of
never
that.
seen anyone like John Wall,
right?
Like the fastest, hands down,
he was praising Russell's work ethic, but praising John Wall's ability.
Yeah.
And when you're saying your ability is that much above Russell Westbrook,
John Wall was something
who's
special.
one of the most athletic players you've ever seen, right?
Yeah, I think John Wall just became a victim of circumstance. Like he got paid a lot too early, and he got comfortable.
Well, I know you say John Morant is Randy Moss.
Yeah.
That John Wall is Randy Moss. Was, right? Like
yeah.
The 360 layups, like that. There's been nobody, I want to say, in the history of the NBA, I don't think I've seen anyone go faster, like free throw line to free throw line than John Wall with the ball, right? Can you think of one?
He was there's
nobody. I mean, there's a reason that he was number 1 pick. I mean,
he was fast in an era where there was where Rose and Russ were young 21-year-old boys.
Yeah, he was the fastest of all of them.
Like, and John Wall was still like, holy shit, that guy's fast. Like those other guys are fast. Like,
that's a really good one. Wow, that's what's funny is it's because he's still playing, but I mean, he's not
been
playing
out for 3 years,
because
right? He's been out for 3 years,
right.
So
there's zero chance he will. And you know how tall John Wall is? Which is the craziest thing ever.
6'2",
6'4", bro.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like D Rose is 6'3", like he's an inch and a half taller than D Rose.
Yeah. No, Wall.
Big boy, man.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he could have the back end of his career. Maybe go play with LeBron and win a couple championships. But like,
so dude, you know what his career averages are?
Well, he's only played like 3 seasons.
No, he's played 9, but 19, 9, and 4. 2 steals a game.
That's nice.
I mean, yeah, he's only put up number. I mean, it's
I didn't look at the stats. I just know how. I listen.
And like we would both agree, John Wall's not a great shooter, correct?
Yeah.
You know what his 3-point percentage is?
33.
Yeah, 32.5. It's like I'm saying that's not great, but like it's like below league average, but not way below.
It's probably the same as Klay Thompson this year.
Maybe a little higher, a little lower than that. But I'm saying it's not like terrible. Like
It's,
Russell Westbrook's 28%, right?
It's serviceable.
Like Russell Westbrook's real bad.
The fact that John Wall's
Michael Jordan's.
The fact that John Wall's not playing is crazy. Like,
let's see real quick. This is a good one. Free throw percentage is 78%. So
John Wall to me is a Hall of Fame. Like,
yeah,
if he had played all 9 years,
Hall of Fame talent.
No, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Sean Kemp, like,
sure,
same kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
What's crazy is that he's still not even that old, and he's still getting paid all his money. And
he's still making $40 million a year right now. But he's not playing.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Any other nuggets besides Will Smith needs to maybe man up and not slap people?
Well, Will Smith's gonna do what he's gonna do.
Yeah, Will Smith's gonna do it. That's the quote of the. That's weird.